Warning: this project involves working with chemicals that can be harmful to your health. If you are under 18, please consult with a parent before attempting this project. I am not responsible for any harm done to yourself, others, or any property. Perform this project at your own risk, and please work safely. Thank you. Have you ever wanted to turn a cube that looks like this into a cube that looks like this? Well, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to teach you how to do that. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another My Cube or Vinny video. Today's a very special one, and I do have to apologize because of how long it has taken me to make this video. My intent was to get this out last summer around July. Yeah, that was not possible, so forgive me, guys. We bought a house. I was going to school. Life gets in the way of things, but you know what? Better late than never. So today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to turn any stickerless Rubik's Cube black. And if you're like me, you're kind of upset because I don't know why they even got rid of black cubes in the first place. There's so much practicality that comes with the black cube. For example, if you're colorblind, stickerless cubes might not be possible for you to use because the shades just might not agree with how you see the world. Having a black cube lets you put your own sticker shades on any cube. Also, I just love the way black cubes look. They just look so much better to me than stickerless cubes. They're classic, they're sleek, they're clean. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you guys through the steps that I use to make a black cube from a stickerless cube. So the first thing you'll need is, of course, a cube, but not any cube will work. And the reason for that is this. Some stickerless cubes don't have primary internals. So if your main Speedcube happens to be a cube that doesn't have primaries and there's no other versions that have primaries or black internals, then you can still do this project, but your recognition might be thrown off a little because you're going to be seeing all these colors as you're making turns. Black or primary internals, you won't see those. A couple cubes that I can recommend for this project are the Tornado V3 and V4, of course, because they have primary internals. There's also the Moyu Weilong V11 SE, which is a Weilong V11 with black internals. This could be a very good cube to do this mod on. There's also the GAN cubes, which have primary internals, the 12, 13, 14, 15. There's also a version of the GAN 15 that has black internals, as well as the GAN V100 that has black internals. So this is just a few cubes of many that you have to choose from. Do your own research and see what cubes will work for this project for you. But yeah, I ended up using a Tornado V3 on this project. So if you guys are longtime followers of my channel, you'll see that this is the third variant of this cube that I've made. I've made two other versions of this cube before this, and the two versions before, while they did look great when they were brand new, ended up not working well. And that's because I used dye instead of spray paint, which is what I'm going to show you how to use. The dye ended up seeping through the clear coat, and it actually dyed into the stickers and turned them like a brown color. I thought dye was going to be the way to do this, but unfortunately it's just not possible unless I can find a clear coat that repels the dye, but I don't know, that day is yet to come. So this is my third version making this, and this cube has taken a beating over 3 mods, but it still looks great, it still works good, and it will serve as a great base for this modification. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the build. Materials. You will need a cube of your choice, the black spray paint. I recommend this type of spray paint, Rust-Oleum 2X in satin black. Then clear coat. I've used all 3 of these on screen with successful results. If you want something less toxic, go with Rust-Oleum Clear. Then you'll need some fine cut cleaner. You can get this at any auto parts store, hardware store, or online. Water, a microfiber cloth, some fine grit sandpaper. I recommend getting a mix of grits like 600, 1000, and 2000. And lastly, a respirator of any kind to protect from paint and the clear coat fumes. All of this should run you about $40 depending on what materials you already have, excluding the cost of the cube. Step 1. Prepping the cube. So now you have a choice to make. How will you spray your cube? Will you spray it in an assembled state like this? Or will you take all the pieces off and lay them out? Well, each has its pros and cons. If you choose option 1, to spray while assembled, it is possible you will get paint inside of the cube, but with proper technique, you may not get any paint inside at all. This black paint here was due to my poor technique, but the black paint didn't get on any of the friction points, and even if it did, it would grind off eventually. Option 2 is definitely the harder option, but you will have more control, and your core and pieces will remain paint-free. You can either spray the calves assembled like this, which I recommend, or you can lay them all out. Why I don't recommend spraying each cap is because you want the paint to be imitating plastic. You want one uniform black paint job. If you spray each piece, paint can build up on the edges and cause the pieces not to fit together properly. If done with very thin coats, this shouldn't be too big of an issue. This might also be the best step if you plan on taking apart your caps in the future. If you spray the pieces laid out, you'll soon find out that the paint could blow your pieces away. This is bad. What you should do is go to your local art store, pick up some polymer clay or any type of clay really, and stick the clay on your spraying surface, then press the piece into the clay. The piece will now have weight and will be partially stuck to the surface. I recommend doing the same if spraying assembled caps as well. This may seem like too much work, but trust me, it'll save you a huge headache. If you want to be really safe, you can stuff polymer clay into the gaps of your assembled cube, which will mask off the internals from the paint. The clay might leave a residue, but you can clean out the core and the pieces with soapy water. Step 2. Paint it black. Make sure to work in a well-ventilated area, with clothes you don't mind ruining, and put on your respirator. You can use this fancy one I have, or any other type seen here. I made this holding apparatus so that my cube would float, allowing me to get more coats done quicker. Setting down would be annoying and it runs the risk of ruining your paint job if you touch or drop the cube. This allows me full access to all the faces. I used a kebab skewer and some dental floss attached to the corner pieces to hold my cube. Be sure to shake your paint for 2 minutes. Hopefully you're better at taking caps off than I am. Do a couple test sprays to prime the spray paint and start spraying. Let me show you the technique to get the best coat possible. Do not spray straight onto the cube like this. And do not spray too close or for too long. Instead, what you want to do is spray paint as close as you can get to a 45-degree angle, hold the paint can about 12 inches or 30 centimeters away, and spray in short bursts while moving in a swiping motion. Watch here how I paint. Notice my short bursts, moving the can as I spray, and the distance my paint can is from the cube. Also the angle I'm spraying at. Good spray painting technique takes practice like anything, so maybe experiment with some test objects if you are nervous to try your first paint job on your new cube. For coat 1, if you did everything correctly, you should still be able to see some colors peeking through the black. You want to see colors. If your cube is fully black, you did this step wrong and you painted too thick. Make sure that it's not gluing itself together. Yeah, it's not. That's really good. Okay, good. Good, there's enough gap between the pieces where the paint isn't sticking them together. Hope it's the same for the polyurethane. You want to do no less than 3 really thin coats. One thick coat is the worst thing you could do, as the paint will bind the pieces together if spraying assembled like me, or the paint can glob up on the surface, causing bumps and weird textures. Now for coat 2. Do more of the same. You can see here that I'm spraying straight onto the cube at no angle. This is bad. This is probably why I got some black paint in my cube. This is before I realized the importance of a 45-degree angle. Don't be like me. Now for coat 3. Again, more of the same. Your cube should be fully black at this point. Patience is key for a uniform and thin finish. Looks pretty good. Nice and black. Patience is the key. You get that nice, crispy finish. All right. Let that dry overnight. See you in the morning. Step 3. Prep for clear coat and apply clear coat. What you're seeing here is why I do not like this kind of spray paint I used. I used Krylon spray paint, and I used a matte finish instead of satin. It left a dusty residue that I had to lightly sand off using 2000 grit sandpaper. I'm using 2000 grit so I don't damage the black paint and reveal colors underneath. I'm basically just rubbing the cube with a piece of paper at this grit, but it is enough to remove the bumps and the paint dust. I do some turns to make sure no pieces are stuck together. Looks good. What I'm showing you here is another mistake I made. I cleaned my cube in step 1 using alcohol and didn't wipe it off 100%. So when painting the cube, it caused the paint to crack, as you can see here. This is my biggest mistake in the whole process, which is why I recommend just wiping your cube down with the microfiber cloth or towel. I'm not too worried about it though, because the polish will level it out a bit and the stickers will cover up the cracks. Now it's time to apply the clear coat. This ensures your black paint remains protected from all of the wear and tear solves can do. I used polyurethane on this build, which is oil-based and pretty toxic, so definitely wear a respirator and work outside if you use polyurethane as well. Shake vigorously for 2 minutes. Ow. Do a couple test sprays after shaking, and spray your cube using the same technique from step 2. Again, I'm spraying incorrectly here, so just imagine I'm at a 45-degree angle. I think I am sometimes. If you stuff your cube with clay, tape, or whatever to prevent paint from going inside, you don't have to worry about the 45-degree angle. To get a solid layer of protection, I recommend no less than 3 thin coats, but honestly, I would recommend 5 coats for extra protection. Follow the directions on your can for wait times between coats. Once the clear coat is dry, if you used polyurethane like me, you will notice it smells very chemically. This smell always makes me sick and gives me headaches. The polyurethane is doing what is called off-gassing. Basically, as the polyurethane cures, it releases gases which you can smell. And these are volatile organic compounds, so I don't recommend breathing these or working with this cube. It can take weeks for the cube to stop off-gassing. I recommend waiting 2 weeks before doing the next step if you use polyurethane. Same goes for lacquer, which has the same problem. I haven't encountered this on my purple GAN cube, which I used the Rust-Oleum Clear on. Step 4. Polish. Skip sanding if using Rust-Oleum Clear. As you can see here, there's a texture from the clear coat. This is where the sandpaper comes in. I start with my 600 grit, dip the sandpaper in water, and gently rub the pieces. Even at this grit, if you press too hard, you can burn through the clear coat, so be very gentle. I rub in circular motions until I start to notice the clear coat turning gray, like this. Then I move up to a higher grit to get a smoother polish, and not go too deep into the clear coat. The goal is to get the clear coat as level and uniform as possible. It doesn't have to be 100% level since you're putting on stickers, so you're not going to see most of it anyway, but if you are a demon, then go for it. This process is the most tedious, but it's very necessary for a professional looking cube. Now that you've sanded down the polish a good amount, it's time to break out the microfiber cloth or towel and the fine cut cleaner. Start by laying your cloth of choice out on a hard table. Place a small dollop of fine cut cleaner and spread it around on your finger. Then, add a little water to the spot so it helps the piece slide around easier. Now for each piece, rub the black part of the piece on the towel. Don't be afraid to apply some pressure. This stuff sands at the microscopic level, so it would take a lot of force to break the polish. Just press a good little bit to make sure the polish is getting worked into the piece. I like to do circular motions or go back and forth like this. Do this until your piece is nice and shiny. Trust me, you'll know when you're done. Now repeat this for every piece. You can even sand each piece individually as I'm doing here. This might be easier than sanding as an assembled cube. This is probably the most tedious step of the whole process, but it is so crucial to making your cube look really good. Here's what some of the pieces look like when they reach a good shine. You should be able to see reflections in the piece. The better the reflection, the smoother the polish. You are in full control of how glossy you want it to look.
Alright, so that concludes the tutorial. At this point, you should have a nice polished black cube, which you can add your own stickers to. Get some stickers at a cube store or print some yourself, and you should be left with this, your own black 3x3 speed cube. I've been using this one for about 6 months now. This is the Tornado V3 that I mentioned earlier. Man, this is a great cube. It has really held up to the wear and tear that comes along with thousands of solves. I don't see any chips in the black finish or clear coat. Everything looks like pretty much the same as it does when I put the stickers on. So yeah, this is like my black speed cube now. It's really great. I understand that this tutorial can seem daunting and it's very involved and there's a lot of variables. There's a lot that can go wrong and there's a lot of practice that goes along with doing something like this. So if this seems a little too intimidating for you guys, I would like to offer my services to you. I would be willing to make you guys your own black speed cubes for a very reasonable price. If this is something that you guys would like, please leave a comment down below and I will send you a link on where we can talk about getting a black speed cube made for you. You guys pay for the cube and the services, and I put together a nice cube for you with your own custom sticker shades. I also wanted to mention this cube here. This is a cube that I showed earlier in the video. This is my GAN Air that I painted purple, and I used the same spray paint, but purple, and I used the Rust-Oleum clear coat on this one. And honestly, it looks really good. I'm gonna throw in some macro shots for you guys right now to show you what it looks like. I think I'm just gonna use this clear coat from now on because I didn't even do a good job with this clear coat and it looks amazing. It feels amazing and it's really held up to a lot of solves. I've done quite a few solves on this and there's a few minor chips, but that's because I really didn't put much effort into the finish. I think I did like 2 really bad coats. So yeah, this is something that I would recommend if you guys wanna go with a little less toxic method. The polyurethane and lacquer are very dangerous to health if you're not using a respirator. This is definitely a little bit less intense, and I would recommend this for anyone that wants to give this a try. It's worked great for me with the purple. But if you guys want something a little bit more premium, a little bit more durable, go with the polyurethane or lacquer. I would also be willing to do this for you guys as well. I would 100% build a cube to your spec if this is something that you guys want me to do. Also, I set up a new background for my videos. What do you guys think? I'm super proud of it. The lighting looks really good in here. I think this is gonna be a very good space to make future videos. I think I'm ready to start putting in the work and really putting some effort into this channel. I want this channel to grow. I have so many plans for this channel that I want to share with you guys. The only way to make that happen is to put in the work. With that in mind, I would like to announce that I am dropping a Patreon for you guys if you would like to support the channel. I'm gonna be offering 3 membership tiers. I'm gonna be offering the Vinny's Cubers tier, which is just a basic tier for anyone that wants to support the channel for a really low cost. Then the flagship tier, which is a little bit more. It's gonna be $5 a month. This is for anyone that wants to support the channel and also get a couple benefits that come along with it. I'm gonna be offering some services through there. And there's also the Cube Gods tier, which is $10 a month. There's gonna be a lot of benefits that come with that, like merch, cube critiques, live streams, all that kind of cool stuff. Both the flagship and the Cube Gods get early access to my videos. So I'm gonna be posting my videos 1 week early on Patreon. So if you guys would like to become a member on Patreon, please go sign up. I would really appreciate it. It would help make these videos a lot better. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Best of luck if you do attempt this. And if it's not something that you want to try, just hit me up. I will gladly put a black cube together for you. It really only took me like 2 days to make this one. So I think I can realistically do it for a few of my subscribers. All right, guys, I look forward to the future of this channel with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a long time in the making, this black cube tutorial, but it's finally here before GTA 6. All right, see you guys later.